Hi friends, it's Miss Ellie. How are you doing? Are you having fun? Good. I thought I'd read you a story today and my friend Squeak wanted to join. You say hi to Squeak. Squeak, say hi to my friends. Oh, sometimes he's very noisy. Well, Squeak wanted to hear this story, and actually he picked it out because he thought this is his favorite story. Now, we did read it earlier in the year, and it was one of our favorites, I think. So, hopefully, you'll enjoy this story, just like Squeak is. So, Squeak's going to sit and listen with us, while I read the story, okay? This is about Fookmeyer the Grump. Do you remember him? No? What about those darn squirrels? Maybe you remember that. This is Those Darn Squirrels. Written by Adam Rubin. You ready? Okay. Do you see any squirrels outside right now? I saw one this morning. My dog Lucy tried chasing it. She didn't get it though, thank goodness. Ready? On the outskirts of town, at the edge of the forest, there was a little old house. The only thing older than the little house was the man who lived in it. Old Man Fookmeyer. You see a little old house on the edge of the woods? Do you see that, Squeak? Yeah, good. Old Man Fookmeyer was so old that when he dust came out. He was also a grump. He hated pie. Who hates pie? Do you hate pie? Oh, good. I don't hate pie. He hated puppies. How do you hate puppies? I don't hate puppies. The only thing he liked was birds. Do you like birds? I like birds. All summer long, the old man painted pictures of the birds that visited his backyard. There were whirlybirds and bunga birds, baba birds and yabba birds. Even a rare flugel bird came by once or twice. Fookweyer's paintings weren't very good, but the birds never said anything. They didn't seem to mind. Sneezing out dust. Ooh, it's like he's sneezing out germs. That would be like what it would look like if the germs weren't invisible. Ew. When the air turned crisp and the leaves began to change color, the old man grew sad. I'm going to bring Squeak over here. He can't quite see from there. The old man grew sad. He knew that soon the birds would fly south for the winter, as they did every year, and that he would be lonely. Do you remember what it's called when a bird flies south for the winter or flies north for the summer? Then he had an idea. If he fed the birds, maybe they would stick around. So old man Fookmeyer built beautiful bird feeders and put them up all around his backyard. He filled the feeders with delicious seeds and berries, and soon birds came from all over the forest just to eat in the old man's yard. But the birds weren't the only ones who liked the bird feeders. The squirrels did too. Not many people know this, but squirrels are the cleverest of all the woodland creatures. In fact, they're fuzzy little geniuses. They can make a house out of a tree, a bed out of a bunch of leaves, and a box kite out of twigs, dirt, and squirrel spit. They are also excellent at math. Winter was fast approaching, and the squirrels needed to gather as much food as they could get ready. So they decided to take some of the bird food. The birds were not happy. Tweet, 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 tweet. Neither was old man Fookmeyer. When he discovered what had happened, he shook his old man fist and yelled, Do you remember? Can you yell with me? Those darn squirrels! Oh, Squeak likes that. He filled up the feeders again, but this time he hung them from a clothesline. Then he went back inside, confident that the squirrels would no longer be able to get the seeds and berries. But the squirrels were determined. They devised a plan, and this time they took all the food from the bird feeders. Can you tell what their plan is going to be? The birds were furious. Harumph, 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 yelled the bonga bird. Say it with me. Those darn squirrels, yelled Old Man Fuquire. Yum, said the squirrels. Oh, they're so naughty. They're all filled up and fattened up for the winter. Now it was Old Man Fuquire's turn to devise a plan. He went to the general store to get supplies. He bought lasers and clamps. He bought wires and springs. He bought all sorts of tools and built a veritable fortress around his bird feeders. Then he refilled them very carefully. Na 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 na, snorted the flugel bird. The squirrels stayed up all night working out their strategy. They drank cherry cola and ate salt and vinegar chips to help them stay awake. And finally they had it. They had the perfect plan. What's it going to be? They put on their tiny helmets and prepared to launch themselves into the air, over the fence, between the lasers, and onto the bird feeders. Do you think it'll work? I don't know. The first squirrel misfired and hit a tree. The second squirrel went too high and landed in a bucket. The third squirrel sailed clear over the whole house. The birds laughed and laughed. They each had one last delicious mouthful of seeds and berries from the old man's feeders. Then they flew south for the winter, just as they did every year. Did you remember what the word was when birds fly south for the winter? Begins with the M sound. Said the flugel bird. After the birds left, Old Man Fuquire was lonely, just as he was every year. He fixed himself some cottage cheese and pepper. That was his favorite snack. But he was still lonely. When he looked out the window, the squirrels could tell that he wasn't happy. "Go away," shouted the old man. "I don't like you squirrels. Go away." How do you think the squirrels feel right now? The squirrels held a meeting deep inside a large tree. They decided to give the old man a present to make up for taking the seeds and berries. Squirrel meeting tonight. Oh, they're all going to the meeting. Now, not many people know this. Do you know this? But squirrels are not only fuzzy little geniuses. They also collect just about anything they find on the ground. These squirrels had a vast stockpile of spectacular junk to choose from. But what would Fuquire like? Bottle caps? Popsicle sticks? Postage stamps? Maybe. Finally they had it. They had the perfect gift. What did What did they find for him? Look at that collection of stuff. The squirrels stacked all of their loose change on old Man Fuquaya's doorstep. There were dimes and pennies. There were nickels and quarters. There were even a few tokens from Coco's arcade. It all added up to $47.36, plus a few rounds of skee-ball. "Maybe you squirrels aren't so bad," said Fuquire when he found the coins. "But I still like birds better." This gave the squirrels another idea. They raided their junk collection again and got to work. When old man Fuquire woke up the next morning, he was amazed to see that the birds had returned. Do you think the birds have come back in the middle of winter? Did the birds come back? Are those birds? Are those really the birds? No, Squeak doesn't think those are the birds. He thinks there's something else. Those things weren't birds. They were the squirrels in disguise. "Great googly moogly," said Mr. Fuquire. "This will make quite a painting." He ran outside and took down the lasers and the wires and the spring-loaded trapeze. He turned all the bird feeders into squirrel feeders. Then he painted till his brush ran out of bristles. The squirrels were so overjoyed they had a party in old man Fuquire's house. "Those darn squirrels," said Fuquire, and he shook his old man fist and smiled. Do you think he's still angry at those squirrels? Nah, I don't think so either. I think he kind of likes them. Maybe you could paint a picture of a bird or a squirrel dressed up as a bird, or draw a picture, or maybe you could make a bird feeder. There's an idea. Until next time, bye guys.